What's going on, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. And hold on a second, y'all. Do something. 1 second. All right. It's your big brother K-Rino. And of course, y'all see the title. The reason why I want to talk about this is on a few little levels. Got to cover a few different levels of this whole situation. If y'all don't know, Dave Chappelle was doing a comedy show in LA, and some guy ran on stage and attacked him. Ran on stage and full blast run. Came like he was coming out the backfield, like he was coming to sack the quarterback. And he rushed in and tried to take Dave Chappelle down. Now Dave Chappelle managed to elude the takedown and never went down, never left his feet. And the guy in turn took off running. Security eventually caught up to him and did whatever it is that they did to him. Now, this was in LA during, I think, another Netflix special that he was filming. And from what I saw, this was a pretty big venue. And I hate to go right into it. You know, I'll try to build it up, but I want to go right into it. Y'all hit the like button for your big brother, man. Hit the like button for me right now, man. From what I saw on the clip, if y'all haven't watched the clip, do so. This looked like a pretty big venue that he was performing in. So the question I'm asking and really wondering is, what kind of security structure did they have in place that it was that easy for this individual to just run on the stage the way he did, that easy to have that kind of access? And he also had what they described in the report as a replica handgun. He had a fake handgun, but on this handgun, there was a blade attached, a knife, a little knife was attached coming out of the shaft where a bullet would come out of a normal gun. So he had rigged up some kind of weapon with a blade on it. Now, had he been able to actually take Dave Chappelle down, who knows what type of use that blade would have been put to. Now, if y'all remember, or if you don't remember, you can go back and reference a video I made right when the Will Smith, Chris Rock slap thing happened. And one of the things that I said immediately following that situation, I asked the question, I kind of questioned, could this, or I made the statement that this could possibly change the landscape of comedy in terms of, even though it was one entertainer doing it to another, now it kind of opens up. Could it open up a door that will make other people in other cities or with other comedians feel confident enough to start rushing the stage more frequently, simply because a comedian says something that they didn't like or something that they found offensive? And there have been a couple of incidents since that. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not acting like before what happened at the Oscars, whether you think it was real or not. I'm not acting like there haven't been situations where comedians haven't been attacked on stage, because of course they have. That all, if a guy's heckling the comedian starts getting the best of them, guys getting their feelings all the time, alcohol involved, and people have been known to run up on stage. But this holds a different kind of weight to it, simply because, for this reason, the content that Dave Chappelle is speaking on, the subject matter that Dave Chappelle is speaking on, is a very sensitive subject. The subject matter that had people up in arms over his last special is very sensitive, because he is speaking to a group, speaking about a group, or speaking about certain aspects and thought processes that exist among certain members of this group or these groups that he differed on, he didn't agree with. And in this time frame of heightened sensitivity about everything. You are not allowed to be critical of any powerful group, even when your criticism is rooted in absolute truth. Or if it's just, hey man, this is just how I view it, but my presentation of it was not laid out in a disrespectful manner, no malice intent. You just took offense to it because of the heightened sensitivity of the day we live in, and because you know and understand that the group that you belong to in this day and age possesses a lot of power. So this young cat, 23 years old, his name was Isaiah Lee, he felt free enough to run up on the stage and try to take down Dave Chappelle. Now, this is what we got to understand, y'all. We got to see, because this is not just for comedians, man. You're talking about comedians, you're talking about rappers, singers, politicians. This opens up the door, because these are all individuals who, I won't say make a living speaking their mind, but we speak our mind, some of us speak our mind unapologetically, especially when we know what we're talking about is the truth. And even if we don't know necessarily, if it's just an opinion of ours, we stand on it unapologetically. So the question has to be, because I mentioned how big this venue is, I want to know, what kind of security setup do they have in this venue for a superstar like Dave Chappelle to be performing that night? And there were other people, that Jamie Foxx was there, Chris Rock was there, okay? How was he able to come into this venue with a backpack and with a fake handgun that had a blade attached to it? What was the search procedure, if any, taking place at this venue? How was it that lax? How was he able to get all the way up to the stage? See, the security is flawed in a lot of these situations. I don't care how big a star you are. We've seen too many situations where people have still been able to get to them because the security is flawed. The whole detail is whack. So if the security is in the back and there's no security lined up on the front of the stage, this dude got a beeline shot to get straight to Dave Chappelle. Now, they took him down and all that, but by the time that happened, if he was more skilled and more efficient, oh, he could have did some damage in that 2 or 3 second burst. He could have done some damage if he was more skilled. See? So I've seen shows where, comedy shows, I've seen 85 South show where they're on stage, elevated stage, and there's a security guy sitting here, security guy sitting here. They got security in the front of the stage, facing the audience, never looking back behind. They're not interested in the show. Their focus is to watch the audience. If they just had that laid out, this guy would have never made it to the stage. But they didn't even have it, so the security is very lax. That's something to be concerned with. That's something that you got to take into account. And as entertainers, we can't make the mistake of feeling like, oh man, well, you know, ain't nobody ain't gonna try that with me, man. Hey man, I ain't really worried about it. Yeah, you might not be worried about it, but that does not exclude you from the possibility that you could fall under one of these kind of attacks. See, when you think about the people who come and shoot up schools, the people who get fired from their jobs and then they come and then they decide they want to come back and shoot up the job, or the person who nobody did anything to them, they just were just mentally unstable. At one point in time, these people were at home plotting and planning what it was they were getting ready to do. They was at the crib, laying it out. Nobody suspected it. Nobody had a clue that this was coming. Then all of a sudden it happened. And then, oh my God, I didn't know. Then they go back and look at his Facebook page and see all these cryptic messages and nobody caught the hint. But by then it's too late. And what's happened with a guy like Dave Chappelle, who is probably the best comedian out right now. Probably the best. If I had to pick one, I would put Dave, and then everybody else is under Dave, because he has a combination of humor with an intellectual twist to it, with an intellectual angle to it, but also he tackles political topics of the day. So these individuals who were upset about his last special, what happened, in my opinion, what happened was, typically when you say something critical about these groups, it's a couple of groups that you can't really say nothing about, even if you're telling the God honest truth. When you speak truth about these groups, typically they have the ability to do what we know in today's society as cancel you. They have the ability to call down a word and call down the full avalanche and force of their power to get you canceled until you apologize, or make you apologize so that you won't be canceled. So the last special Dave did, where I detected no lies in it, they made an attempt to cancel him. They came at him. They came after Netflix. Hey, what are y'all gonna do? What are y'all gonna do? They came at him, and they tried to take him down the same road that they take a lot of our black entertainers. And Dave was unmoved, unfazed, unapologetic, and continued on unscathed. Dave was unscathed. They didn't like the way he behaved, so they wanted to cancel him. But it didn't work. And it's very rare when you see one of these powerful groups go on a cancellation mission and they are not successful, because most of us are so scared of their power that we instantly apologize, or we go on the apology tour, we take the hit, we instantly just punk out. Dave didn't punk out. And Dave understood that, hey man, my people are with me. And that's always been my theory on when these groups try to make you bow down to them. First of all, I got God with me. Second of all, I got a core support group, a support system, an audience that rocks with me. I ain't worried about you. If you want to cancel me because of something that I said, that means, number one, you either didn't listen to the full context of what I said and get understanding of it, you didn't seek to, or you was never with me, because if you was really, really with me, you would already know how I get down. So when you calling for my cancellation, you can go on, bye. You can go on. Bye. Plain and simple. So Dave wasn't worried about that, because he had support coming from the very group, other members of that group who were on his side. Were like, no, we didn't find no problem with what he said. It's just those few, because we live in this climate of such heightened sensitivity about every issue. And again, when these groups come in, when they rise into prominence and power, they don't have that, they don't utilize their power with humility. They utilize their power and become dictators with the power. And they start becoming the very oppressive forces that they accuse people of being on them, which made them the victim in the first place, which helped them rise into power. So they become what they claim they were a victim of the whole time. You can't have it both ways. So when they were not able to cancel Dave Chappelle, it didn't work. And that's practically unprecedented that you see a cancellation mission that don't work, especially on a black dude. Man, they couldn't phase this dude. Netflix still messing with him. Couldn't phase him. So now that translates into physical action, plain and simple. We've seen it throughout history when you have people who are dissatisfied with politicians. They will have a dissatisfaction with the political agenda of a certain candidate or a certain already in position, governor, president, mayor, whoever it is. And the first step to voice their displeasure or display their displeasure is they may write a letter. They may start posting tweets and comments on social media. They may show up to a rally. They may show up to a political event and raise their hand and ask a question. And the more dissatisfaction that starts to build, and the more they feel like they're not getting results, the more hatred starts to grow in that person towards that individual. And next thing you know, when they can't get that satisfaction they want, they resort to physical means. They resort to violence. So you see presidents get assassinated or attempts on presidents' life to be assassinated all the time. You see it all the time, no matter what country it is. You've seen entertainers be taken out or attempted to be taken out because you have deranged individuals who create this thought in their mind, and this person here he's a Nazi. This person here, he's against America. This person here, I listened to that song. He's this, he's that. That's how John Lennon got killed. And you as an individual, you just living your life. You just John Lennon walking down the street, minding his business. He's walking down the street with his wife. Dude that been trying to get at him for months, just walk up on him and just shoot him. Dude that just got his autograph earlier that day. So now, as I said in the video when the Will Smith, Chris Rock slap thing happened, whether y'all think it's fake or not, it sets a stage and plants a seed, it plants an idea in the minds of these types of individuals. It unlocks a door that makes them like, okay, I feel like I can get to one of them too. I can get on the stage, I can get to one of them too. And they can, because he did. No way this dude should have been able to get that close to Dave Chappelle. No way. Absolutely no way he should have been able to get that close. Dave hit him with a little sidestep, but it didn't have to go like that. And when people do that type of stuff, man, you got to understand something about your big brother. I'm a nice guy, man. But when I see stuff like that, it's a thought that generates in me that wishes like the worst thing that could possibly happen to a human being is what I wish would have happened to that guy. All bets are off because I'm going to always visualize what I would do in that situation. And I would not stop stomping this dude into liquid if I was in that situation, if I was in that position. I feel no remorse. The security didn't do him bad enough. I saw the pictures in the aftermath of how he looked after security got a hold when they was taking him to the hospital. He looked too good to me. He looked too good. He got off easy. It was worth it in his mind. This is how I think. So my proposal is, and y'all tell me what y'all think about this, because the security ain't right, man. The security ain't right. No way that should have happened. How did the backpack get in the door? Y'all don't have metal detectors at these types of big events like that? Y'all don't have people patting people down? Man, I went to just a regular club and the dude patted me down, and then he was apologizing for patting me down. He's like, hey, man, I'm sorry, K-Rino, man. I say, man, you ain't got to apologize for security, bro. I have no issues being searched because I want the dude behind me to be searched. The people that are already in there, I need for them to have been searched and checked and metal detected so we can be in a safe environment. Never be in opposition to a check procedure. That's dumb. Why would you be opposed? Man, them people searching me and ain't nobody gonna do. You might not do nothing, but it's a fool that might. So embrace that part of it. And this at hood spots. So how can you have this big event that's being filmed for a Netflix special? All these people that I told you was a big venue, huge venue. How is your security that lax, that negligent? See, I believe that you should have regular plainclothes people strategically planted throughout the audience. That's just my belief. You should have people, several people on the front row. Forget them ticket sales. I know y'all want to sell them tickets. Man, these $1,000 seats. Okay, y'all better add a couple of more in there. Plant a couple of more seats in there and have regular security guys dressed in regular clothes sitting there acting like they laughing at the jokes just like everybody else, but they doing this all the time. They're keeping their eyes open. You need to have people positioned in front of the stage that's focusing on the crowd at all times. Kind of like how the Nation of Islam does it. If you go see Minister Farrakhan speak, you're gonna have security. You're gonna have FOIs lined up on the floor that are facing you, the audience. They ain't looking at Minister Farrakhan. They ain't looking back when the minister say something deep and yeah, brother minister. They ain't doing that because that's not their job at that moment. Their job is to secure the minister and to secure the people who are coming to hear the lecture. So they should have regular people, not regular people, but people in regular clothes that are security, position front to back. I was watching just last week, there was a basketball game, NBA game, Minnesota versus Memphis Grizzlies. And there had been some incidents where some animal rights activists have been running out on the basketball court, right? Running out on the basketball court. So they had a guy sitting right next to the lady, almost on the front row. She about 2 rows up. And he was watching her the whole time. Just looking at her. Like he knew. And she was sitting there like she was just a regular sports fan. And she took off, headed towards the court, and he took off right behind, 1 millisecond behind her, and he took her down. Never let her get her rocks off. So that's how it needs to be. So at the end of the day, Dave Chappelle, his security got a hold of the guy, but all the security in the back. Now I can speak for myself. Rap shows are a little bit different. Comedy shows, you got everybody, you got just one guy on the stage. Rap shows a little bit different. Most rap shows, the whole crew gonna be on the stage most of the time anyway. So when you decide you want to make that move, even if it is security, they might get nothing but the scraps. They might not get nothing but the scraps, because by the time my people get to you, it might not be nothing for the security left to do. It may not be nothing for me to do. See? Let me see what y'all talking about, man, on this subject. Because I already see a couple of weirdos in here. Let me explain something to y'all, man. Protecting yourself is not a bad thing. That's a law of nature that you have within you. You have a right to protect and defend yourself against any opposition, verbally or physically. You have a right to do that. If you forego the right to defend yourself, then you are a foolish person, male or female. If you one of them turn the other cheek type of people, you a foolish person. Don't let nobody tell you that you should just, hey man, turn the other cheek. I'm not praying for the dude who rushes the stage. We're going to pray for him. No, I'm not. If the security did what they did to him and I don't know what's going on, I might be praying that his neck is broke. I might be praying for something like that. I might be praying that they disfigured him in a way where he'll never be the same again. I may pray for that. And y'all, oh man, that's great, man. No. What was he trying to do to me? What was a guy who came on stage with a fake gun with a blade attached to it? What was his intention to do to Dave Chappelle? Show him, hey man, look at this fake gun I made with the knife on it. I just wanted you to see it. Nah. See? So I said it on my video. I said this is gonna change the landscape, possibly, because certain things, unfortunately, good and bad, there are certain things in life that all people have to do is see it be done one time, and then that makes them go, oh, okay, I can do that. Good or bad. First time somebody ever dunked a basketball. Nobody had ever done it before. Somebody went, whoa. Then after they went, whoa, they say, you know what, I think I can do that. So when people get comfortable invading your space, when people get comfortable crossing lines and they start to see it on TV, they start to see it on social media, then it gives a sick person an idea. A light bulb comes over their head like, oh, you know what? I can do that too. I don't like what that dude said on his last special. He's coming to town. I got a chance to get next to this dude, to get close to this dude. Let me see if I can pull something off. Beneath the Sewer says correct, proper security should be better. Yeah. I see somebody in here criticizing the concept of security measures. See? You're a foolish person if you think that equating security measures to is the same thing. You're equating that to, I guess you think, working with the laws, working with the police, or snitching or cooperating with law enforcement. But on the same token, if somebody tries to attack me, in aftermath, the police want to, yeah, I'm going to cooperate with law enforcement to get this fool off me. You foolish person. Peace to the gods. Very well, your package is on the way. Donnie Houston is in the building, man. Salute to my brother, Donnie Houston. The dopest podcast in the city. Much love to you, DH, the designated hitter. We stand on subject today, y'all, so don't ask me anything about we're not talking about today. We're gonna stay on subject. When I do open topics, y'all never around. When y'all can ask me these questions, we talking about what we're talking about. Taff Dog said, it's disappointing when people jump to attack the greats. Dave is a living legend for my generation. Thing with comics too is you can't just react because your butt hurt. Yeah, see, here's the deal. These people are not reacting to just general jokes. Your face looked like a crocodile bit it. Nah, ha, ha, nah. They not laughing at that. They not offended at that. They're not offended, man. Your head shaped like a watermelon. They're not offended at that. They are offended by elements of truth and elements of exposing what this grand scheme agenda is. That's what Dave was doing. Dave was pointing out certain hypocrisies that exist among these certain groups. And he was speaking truth, and he had a lot of support from other members of the same group. It's not the general jokes that offend them. It's the truth that offends them. Sly and the Family Stone said it's the truth that the truth makes them so uptight. That's the biggest weapon that you can use against any enemy, is the truth. Especially when the truth condemns them. When the truth condemns them, oh, they got a problem with that. They want to shut you up. So traditionally throughout history, they figure out ways to shut you up. They threaten your bottom line. They threaten your money. They threaten your position. They threaten your career, right? And if none of those things make you bow down, they threaten your life. They come after your life. See? That's history. That's a pattern. That's a pattern, man. Dollar bill, I see you representing. Appreciate you representing for your big brother. We're not going to respond to ignorance. See, ignorance takes us off the track. Ignorance takes us off the track because anybody with a grain of intelligence in their mind understands what I'm talking about in this situation. Jonathan Finley say, better play is to educate your audience and have an understanding. If a crazy shows up, this is what we're. I mean, yeah, you know, we can make an announcement on the loudspeaker. We can put posters on the wall. Do not rush the stage. No one is allowed to go beyond this. That's not going to stop a crazy person. It's not going to stop a person who might not even be crazy, but they just want to have that moment. They want to make that stance. They know that even if I run out here and get body slammed, it's going to make news. That's not going to necessarily stop them. So you strategically beef up your security measures and your security practices. You can't be laxed. And then when that moment comes, or if that moment comes, these people have to be beaten and stomped into liquid. That's it.